It's Thursday, October 13th, 2022. I have a lot to talk about today. I'm going to get right into it. None of this is in order. I jotted down a bunch of notes, printed some articles, and I want to give you my viewpoint from what we witnessed today in these markets. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. But in my humble opinion, today we witnessed a plunge protection miracle take place. I have never seen anything this atrocious take place in these markets. What we saw take place today was absolutely disgusting. And now you can bet 100% we're going to get a 75 basis point rate hike in November. The odds of that going to 100 basis points is climbing, no doubt. But let's talk about what happened today. Headline CPI rose 0.4% month over month, double the expectation that we would see 8.1%. We got 8.2% year over year. So inflation is continuing to run out of control. And the markets now, I guess, apparently like inflation. They like inflation going up. These markets should have been down tremendously today. We should have seen a 1,000-point collapse on the Dow today. We saw a 1,500-point swing. That may be a historic number. Think about that, a 1,500-point swing. This morning, I'm looking at the NASDAQ. It was down 150 some odd points. I think it closed up 150 points. Just these crazy, volatile swings. But think about the Dow, a 1,500-point swing. Core CPI, which excludes food and energy, came in at 6.6% year over year, highest since August of 1982, and the markets love it. And now they blamed it on the Bank of England and this and that. And look, this thing was so rigged today. Yesterday, we talked about these numbers coming in today, the CPI possibly coming in rigged. I think it's very manipulated. We know that the CPI is much higher, core CPI much higher. But what is really rigged is these markets. That's what's rigged. These markets are so rigged. What we saw today was a flat out atrocity. And it's so dangerous what they're doing. We saw the 10-year this morning at 4.08. It's sitting at 3.95 right now. 13 basis point drop. Who's doing this? You know exactly who is doing this. This is the Fed doing this. And again, it's so dangerous. You have the Fed buying into these markets, buying bonds, and raising interest rates at the same time while the US government continues to spend out of control. This is going to end so bad, ladies and gentlemen. If you thought it was going to be bad, it's going to be much worse than any of us ever thought it would be. Again, I mean, these numbers are just absolutely out of control. Dow Jones up 827 points today with record inflation. And this is going to guarantee more aggressive hikes. This is going to guarantee more unemployment. This is going to guarantee the dismantling or the controlled demolition of the U.S. economy. These markets should have been decimated today. It should have been decimated, but that's okay because all of you are going to work much, much harder, much, much longer in order to try to keep whatever standard of living you have left. You're going to have to work twice as hard and twice as long now to keep that standard of living. They're going to make you work harder. Higher taxes are coming. Higher price gasoline is coming. Higher food prices are coming. The cost to borrow money going up. Mortgage rates going up. This is really getting bad, ladies and gentlemen. September inflation breakdown where the prices rose the fastest. Bacon 3.7%, seafood and fish 8%, chicken up 17.6%, eggs up 30.5%, coffee 15.7%, cereal 16.2%. The average person is going to continue to get absolutely annihilated at the grocery store, at the gas pump. I don't know how we get out of this at this point. There's just so much rigging and so much manipulation taking place. And anybody believing the data today, anybody believing that everything's going to be okay because the markets went up today, while inflation, the cost of living, the cost of just living day to day, cost of everything going up. So dangerous. Mortgage rates resume their climb. 30-year fixed rate average sitting at 6.92. We might as well just say 7%, highest since 2002. Foreclosure activity increases in the United States of America. Well, this is the next shoe to drop. It's going to be housing. There are approximately 92,634 U.S. properties with foreclosure filings from July to September. That's up 3% from the previous 3 months, up more than 100% from a year ago. Lenders have started the foreclosure process, this is on Fox Business, on more than 67,200 properties throughout the 3 months. That's up 1% from the previous quarter and up 167% from a year ago. We are starting to see a trend in housing. Prices are coming down, foreclosures are going up, days on market going up, loan applications at a record low, refis record low. When you have mortgage rates, and people will say, well, 6, 7, even 8%, well, that's normal. Yes, that is normal. But when a home doubles in price from 2 years ago, that is not normal. You start taking 7, 8% on these overvalued properties, nobody can afford to do this. Something is going to give. It will be the sellers. And I can tell you right now that many things are about to break in this economy and in these markets. They are breaking things every day. When the Fed is in there buying bonds, rigging the markets, manipulating the data, and we watch the stock market go up, and we see a 1,500 point swing and go up 800 plus points, something is going to break, ladies and gentlemen. This is so dangerous. People have no idea what they're about to witness. Social Security cost of living adjustment will be 8.7% in 2023, highest increase in 40 years. Well, if you're on Social Security, this is great news for you. But my question, and look, I think this is great news for people who need it, but we were told that Social Security is going to run out by 2034, and now we're going to do an increase of 8.7%. Where is the money coming from, ladies and gentlemen? That is my question. Please comment down below. We now have over $31 trillion of debt right here in the U.S. Unfunded liabilities, Medicare, Medicaid, things of that nature. We're looking at over $170 trillion of debt. So where is this money going to come from? I have no idea. Are they going to print it? Are they going to tax you and I to pay for this? I mean, this to me is just going to cause even more inflation. So again, we're sending money all over the world. We're going to pay college tuition debt. Now we're going to give this 8.7% raise to Social Security. Where is the money all coming from? To me, it's going to be more taxation, more printing, more inflation. See, we just cannot stop spending. So you have the Fed raising rates while the system continues to spend money. And another thing I want to point out too is, why are we not seeing that tightening on the Fed's balance sheet? I think the balance is nearly $9 trillion. We were told about all the tightening that's going to take place. They're not tightening. They're raising rates, but they're not tightening at the other end while they're buying into these markets. This is really, really dangerous stuff. And people out there, I don't think, realize exactly what is about to happen and how bad this is going to get. This is going to be much worse than what I even thought it would be 6 months ago, 2 months ago. It just seems like they just keep making it worse. And by these actions that they're taking, by the rigging and manipulation and more of this money printing and spending, this is going to get to a point, ladies and gentlemen, where we're going to see apocalyptic times here in the U.S. Black Friday is here. Holiday sales are already on with record-breaking deals. If you really, truly don't need something, don't buy it. Now, if you need something, buy it. If you have the means, if you can afford it, buy it. But before you do, please make sure that you have your bases covered. Make sure you have your preparations in order across the board. They are begging you to go out and spend money you don't have. They want you to burn up those credit cards. They want you to borrow buy now, pay later plans, take out a personal loan, use 5 credit cards, whatever, go to a loan shark, whatever. They want you spending, and they're going to cut prices and make deals. They're going to do whatever they can to motivate the average person who is already broke to go out and spend money they don't have. And this is, this is the most dumbed down thing you could do if you're broke, is to go deeper into debt buying holiday gifts. Very, very bad move. If you don't have the means, if you cannot pay cash for it, and if you do pay cash for it and you have no money left over, do not be doing this. That's my advice. You can do whatever you want to do. If you want to, get deeper into debt, that's up to you. Everybody has free will. Everybody can think for themselves. Everybody watching this is an adult, so make your own decisions, think for yourself. But I can tell you right now that if I don't need something, I don't buy it. And that's if I can afford it or I can't afford it. I just, can I live with it, live without it? If I don't need it, I don't buy it. And honestly, I don't care how good the sale is. If I don't need something, why I can use the money to go buy some silver, to go buy some gold, to keep that capital in, somewhere that I can get to, because these are not the real sales. Wait till you see what is coming in 2023. If you think big screen TVs and computers are cheap right now, wait till you see what's coming. Delaying big purchases, reducing debt. 76% of adults are making lifestyle changes to prepare for a potential recession. This was on CNBC today. So we're being told that everything's great. Markets up 824 points today. Dow Jones, NASDAQ, markets up across the board. But we have 76% of adults making lifestyle changes to prepare for a potential recession. Let me be clear. We are in a recession. We are in the beginning stages now of a major depression. This, I think, is truly going to be a dismal Christmas for retailers because people are getting tapped out. And every credit card has something in common with every other credit card, and that's a limit. And people know that they have to be very cautious now with what they're buying, because once they hit that limit, that means that they're not going to be able to pay rent. They're not going to be able to buy food. They're not going to be able to put gas in the car. So yes, they could use that credit card to go buy a big screen TV. But they're thinking, well, if I spend $500 or $1,000 or $1,500 on that, well, then what am I going to do for gas? What am I going to do for food? What if I need to use it for rent? So I think people are going to be forced now to be a little bit more responsible with their spending. Not all. Many will still be out there spending this Christmas. Many people will still be out there spending in this utopia, and they don't care if they have money or not. Listen, half the people spending this year haven't even paid off last Christmas's credit card debt, and they'll be out doing it all over again this year. These people have no idea what is about to hit them. I want to finish with this last article coming from Fox Business. State Department begins to decide on consequences for Saudi Arabia. We are now pouring gas on a fire. And we've been hearing about this for the past few days, about these consequences that we're going to put on Saudi Arabia. What consequences are those? I have no idea. Are we going to threaten them by saying we're not going to protect you? Well, that's fine, because they'll just call up China. China would be more than happy to protect Saudi Arabia because they're going to be buying lots of oil from Saudi Arabia, and they're buying oil from Russia. But we are pouring gas on a fire here. We don't really have any real leverage, in my opinion, now. America is getting very, very weak. What leverage do we have? They can run to Russia. They can run to China. I think this will have severe consequences if we keep pushing it. The best thing we could do is start drilling and fracking right here in America. That would be the best thing we could do. But to now threaten Saudi Arabia, bad move. And all it's going to do is force them to befriend other countries like China. And China would love to step in. They would love it. But again, this is just another bad move. It's a bad economic move for America, and it's going to have serious consequences here. And we're going to continue to watch energy prices and gas prices explode here in America. So prepare. So I'm going to leave it there today. Again, all of you, hopefully you got to witness the miracle today, the plunge protection miracle on Wall Street. We've seen it happen before, but this was a 1,500 point swing. Is that a record? I don't know. I was talking to Aaron today, Texas Silver. Check out his channel. It's a very good channel, Texas Silver. And Aaron thought this may be a record swing today, 1,500 points, and I think he may be right. So check out that channel. And Aaron will discuss why he believes it's so important to own precious metals right now with where we are heading. And it's amazing, as I'm out today, it just seems like people are oblivious to what's happening in the markets, what's happening to the economy. But you know it is affecting so many people. And what is the end game going to look like here? How many people are going to lose their pensions? They're going to be wiped out with their 401ks. Their stocks will be wiped out. Be very interested to see what happens tomorrow in these manipulated markets. If they can keep this going, we'll see. But at the end of the day, markets up today. Did it help you in any way? Did it help ease the pain at the gas pump? Is it easing the pain at the grocery store? Is it easing the pain with your 401k, with inflation, your purchasing power? Did it ease the pain when you had to borrow money to go buy a car or a house? Is it easing when the market goes up like it did today? Did it help you in any way? It might have helped a few people at the very top, but the majority of this country, they are getting absolutely decimated on a daily basis. And it's going to get much, much worse. So be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen, and be very cautious where you're spending your money, where you're parking your money, who's watching your money, who's managing your money, and who's protecting your money. Are the banks that safe? These are all things we got to start asking ourselves. This thing is unraveling. We have gone through the windshield. The train is off the tracks at this point. This thing, to me, is completely out of control. The volatility is unlike anything we've seen. And like I've said before, when I see the markets go up like this, it is more scary than watching the markets go down, because you know the amount of rigging and manipulation that took place to do this. And they are trying to fool people that everything is okay. They're fooling people back into these markets. I think they're going to lose all control of this. And when they do, we're going to see an epic time in U.S. history. Be safe, be careful. God bless all of you. Look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon.